What a hard tumble for Kyle Larson.
Oh, man. And that was after a really hard hit with that front nose to the inside wall.
It just won't stop.
As you saw there, yeah, that's pretty much been Kyle Larson's season. Pretty disappointing. But yeah, today we're here to talk about Kyle Larson, his season, a little bit about last season, mainly this season. Wore William Byron hat, 24, because I don't have a 42, so why not flip the numbers? But yeah, so it's been a rough season for Larson. Currently sits 21st in points, 17 behind 16th in points, which is Jimmy Johnson. He currently sits behind Stenhouse, Byron, Jones, and Menard. And then Johnson is in that last playoff spot. So, yeah. Rough year for Larson. I mean, he's still in contention for the playoffs, don't get me wrong. But we're going to talk about, will he miss the playoffs? And then we're going to give some numbers, how it's looking for him. That's it. So, he hasn't won since 2017 Richmond fall race. That's a long time ago. I don't know what the streak is at now, but it's over. See, it's almost been 2 years. We'll call it 50, 60-something races, but it's been a while, so definitely a long winless streak for Larson. He only has 4 career wins, 2 at Michigan, 1 at Auto Club, 1 at Richmond. But yeah, he had a great year in 2017. 2017, he was competing for the championship. He was one of the favorites for the championship, actually. 4 wins, like 35 playoff points. He had cruised to the round of 12. Had a crash at Talladega, I believe, and then a blown engine at Kansas, and that ended his season early, surprisingly early. No one saw that coming. Everyone thought he would be in the championship 4, including myself, contending for a championship. Would he have beaten Martin Truex Jr.? We don't know, but Martin Truex Jr. obviously deserved the championship that year, best car all season. But Larson, very good year that year. We had high hopes for him in 2018. He had his moments in 2018. Chicagoland, he was contending for a win. Obviously, we know what happened there. He ends up finishing second. He had a lot of second-place finishes last year. Darlington, he absolutely dominated, led over 200 laps. I think he won both stages. Ends up not winning, finishes third, I think. Trying to think of some other races. Kansas leads over 100 laps. Ends up making contact with Ryan Blaney while running in the top 5 late. Gets some damage, ends up finishing the top 5, but gets a penalty because his window, when he made contact, started going like this, which is a big disadvantage, or a big advantage for him aerodynamically. So that finish was taken away, and he lost a stage point there. So he had his moments last year, but this year's been kind of ugly. It started off not bad, but ever since the 4th race, it's kind of dropped off. So at the beginning of the year, the Daytona 500, Larson got a top 10, finished 7th. I think he wrecked 3 times in that race. He spun out or wrecked 3 times. Second race of the season, he leads 142 laps at Atlanta, has a pit road penalty, finishes 12th. After winning a stage, leading 142 laps out of the 325, finishes 12th. I'm pretty sure that was because of a penalty. Correct me if I'm wrong, but very good start to the year. A top 10 at Daytona, lead a lot of laps, and win a stage at Atlanta. It's looking good. 12th place finish at Atlanta the next week. Not bad. Gets a top 10 at ISM. 6th place. Not bad. 12th place at Auto Club, one of his best tracks. You know, when there's a track like that there that you've run really well at in the past, you expect to run top 5. So I'd consider a 12th at Auto Club a disappointment for this team, considering how they have run in the past. Martinsville, he's never really run there. 18th. Yeah, they can scrap that one. They've never really run that well there. And here's where it gets ugly. 39th at Texas, out of 39 cars. 19th at Bristol, a track that he ran great at last year. Got top 5s in both races. Richmond, 37th, last place. Talladega, 24th, and he flipped. So it's been a rough year for Larson. Ever since that 142 laps led at Atlanta, you know how many laps he's led? 1 lap. 1 lap led since that Atlanta race, the second race of the season. It's been a rough time for that 42 team. So a rough year for Larson 42 team. You could say Chip Ganassi Racing, but no. Scroll up here a little bit in the points. You got his teammate, Kurt Busch, in 8th. Kurt Busch didn't have a guaranteed ride this year. He was on a 1-year contract with Stewart-Haas Racing, and then he came over to Chip Ganassi Racing for a 1-year deal. He's 8th in points, contending for wins, getting top 5s and top 10s. You could say it's Chevy, but no. Kurt Busch is the only Chevy up there. You got Chase Elliott in 7th in points with a win. Got a couple top 5s and some top 10s.
Okay.
You got Austin Dillon, Alex Bowman, Jimmy Johnson in the playoffs right now. I mean, if you're Larson, obviously you've had a rough year, but you can't make excuses. It's just been a rough year. So will he make the playoffs? Looking at last year, his playoff results, let's go through it. 2nd at Vegas, 7th at Richmond, 25th at Roval. After a wreck, he led a lot of laps there. 12th at Dover, 11th at Dega, 3rd at Kansas, 37th at Martinsville, 5th at Texas, 3rd at Phoenix, 13th at Homestead. So playoffs, he does pretty solid. And there's a couple races in there that he could definitely scrap. But will he make it this year? Will he make it to those 10 races and have a chance at competing for his first career championship? It's tough to say right now. The direction they are going would say no, but we have seen Kyle Larson drive very well in the past. We've seen him dominate races. We've seen him make crazy restarts, make crazy moves for wins. We've seen him fail a couple times or get moved, but he definitely has the capability to win races. It's just a matter of their luck, just if they can stop wrecking and DNFing. They have 3 DNFs on the year. 2 of them resulted in a last place finish. If they could stop, or not could stop, but if they could just get more speed. Even when they don't wreck, they don't have bad luck. I mean, some of these finishes, like their DNFs, are 24th, 37th, 39th. And then you got a few 12ths in there, and 18th, and 2 top 10s. 19th, 18th, 12th, 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 6th, 7th are they're 20th or better. So their results are not showing so good right now, but for sure they got the potential, but it's just been a struggle for them this year. I don't know how else to say it, but if they don't start putting some results up there, top 10 finishes, stage points, if they don't start getting some of those, it could put them in a hole they don't want to dig out of. Because they may be close right now, but if they keep on putting up these 19th, 24th place finishes, it's going to start building a gap between them and the guys in front of them. I mean, Paul Menard's been running pretty solid. He's got a couple top 10s in the last few weeks. Eric Jones has been leading some laps. William Byron's been getting some stage points. Jimmy Johnson's been running a little bit better. He's been getting some top 5s, top 10s. Alex Bowman just got his career best finished. Austin Dillon just snagged a pole. Ryan Newman's been running consistently. So if Kyle Larson and the 42 team can't get their act together, they might get so much of a gap that come around late June, July, August, they might be looking at a must-win situation to get into the playoffs, which is something they are not going to want to do, considering the field that they're already competing against. So it's looking bad for Larson right now. I definitely think he can turn the corner and make the playoffs. I wouldn't be surprised if he made the playoffs. I'm expecting him to make the playoffs. It would be a big shocker if he did not make the playoffs for sure. But it's been a rough year for him. Rough year for sure. Rough year for the 42 team. Credit One Bank, 1 lap to go. Clover, whatever his other sponsors are. DC Solar. RIP. But whoever his other sponsors are, I feel bad for you right now. But Kyle Larson definitely having his moments where he's not looking too hot this year. Trying to look better, but what can we do? But yeah, that's it for this video. Got some Kyle Larson stuff. That's it. But that thumbnail, yeah, I know it's from 2018 Texas. It's not this year, but I thought it was a pretty solid, high-quality picture. And I'm using the one of him flipping in a later video, so there's no point in me using it twice, in my opinion. But yeah, thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it thoroughly. If you did, leave a like. We're at 206 subscribers. Yeehaw. Let's see if we can get to 300 pretty quick. I know that's a lot. That's a high expectation. We're only at 206. I'm already asking for 300. But, that'd be nice if we could get there. Because the first 100 took a year. Second 100 took 8 months. What if we can get it down to 4 months? That'd be pretty neat. But, yeah, if you want to subscribe, click on my face. It's kind of my thing to click on my face. I might put some other videos up here that you can watch, like my recap of Talladega. And then, I don't know, something else. But, yeah, you just enjoy it.